So in this video I just wanted to talk about earthing up potatoes. Now the main reason you would earth up potatoes is basically to make sure that the developing tubers are not exposed to the light. Now there's different ways to do this. Sometimes if your potatoes were being planted with a potato planter, you would form the drills, and then sometimes you'd go back through it with the ridger and then you would earth up the potatoes again, just to make sure that there was enough space on either side to allow the potatoes to develop. This year I've decided to do the potatoes in permanent raised beds. So these beds last year had onions in them, and then over winter I had a green manure crop in it, and then that was turned in March, and then I prepared the bed for planting the potatoes. So the beds are a little over 1 metre wide, right? So what I did was I came in over 6 inches, maybe between 6 and 8 inches in from the edge of the bed, and then I just dropped the potato. I used a dibber and I just dropped the potato down as far as I could. Ideally you want to get it about 6 inches down, but because I was doing it by hand, they're probably a little closer. They're probably 4 inches. So again, I want to make sure that I earth up. So I planted 2 rows per bed, and what I do then is there's probably from centre to centre, it's probably about between about 80 centimetres. So what I'll do then is, here you can see here I've started to ridge up. So I just go down the middle of the bed and I just ridge up either side. So that's what I'm doing the whole way along. And because I had fertility built into the bed, like not only had I the green manure, but I also added some well composted farmyard manure. By ridging up again, you're putting some of the fertility back up on the bed here. So that's basically just ridging up the potatoes. Now you can see here, these were the orlas that 2 weeks ago were hit with frost, and what I did was I just cut back the foliage. So you can see they recovered quite well, and they'll be fine. So so I just cut them down, and then I just earthed it up on top of them again, and they're coming along really well, so there'll be no issues there. So the varieties that I grew this season so we have orlas, which would be a secondarily but also a main crop, and then for main crops I have Cara, Alouette, Carulas, Setanta, Connect, and then I just always throw in a few Sarpomeras just at the end, just in case. They are pretty much blight resistant. The other ones would have a certain amount of resistance, but they will get knocked with blight later on in the season. So yeah, they're the varieties that I have grown this year, and so far it's now the 23rd of May, so I'm happy enough with the crop, how it's developed. So yeah, that's just a little bit on ridging up potatoes. And you can see here, because these are permanent beds, there was grass had grown in the pathways. Now I did flip the sod on most of the rows, but this one just kind of got the better of me, and because we had such dry weather, I found it really hard to work the soil. So I just covered it with black plastic, and I'm trying to kill the grass. Now the downside is there will be slugs, and the slugs love potatoes, so I'm mindful that I won't leave the plastic on for too long, probably another week, and then I'll be able to come in and flip the sod. So again, the ridging up also, lads, because even though it covers the tubers, it's also good for weed control. So as I'm doing this, I'm pulling out some of the weeds, and once I flip over, then you can cover some of the annual weeds with the soil, and it should knock them back. So yeah, that's just a little bit on earthing up potatoes.